Saturday, the 18th of May 2013, Parc des Princes. It's 8 minutes from the end of PSG's last home match of the title-winning season. The fourth official punches the number 32 into his substitutes board, and 45,000 fans rise to their feet. This isn't any ordinary substitution. The player coming off is global football icon David Beckham. Trudging off the pitch, he's congratulated by teammates and opponents. The crowd chant his name. When sub Ezequiel Lavezzi ruffles Beckham's hair on the touchline, the Englishman breaks down into tears before falling into the arms of coach Carlo Ancelotti. Beckham's arrival in Paris symbolised the new star-studded Paris Saint-Germain, the first French team to outspend the giants of Europe. That day, Ligue had unprecedented attention from the world's media. The match against Brest may have been the end for Beckham, but for PSG, the title of 2013 was just the beginning. Formed in 1970, PSG's story had been symbolised by Ligue glory in 1986 and 1994, but instability and drama both on and off the pitch. World stars came and went: Ronaldinho, Rai, David Ginola and George Weah among the players to have pulled on the famed red and blue shirt. But a sense of unfulfilled potential lingered at France's capital's only big club. Ownership was unstable, and tensions on the terraces raised questions about the club's future. In European terms, PSG was becoming an also-ran. Problems came to a head in 2008. PSG's current global fan base can be forgiven for not knowing the name of Amara Diané, but the Ivorians saved the club from calamity and possibly collapse. That's because on the last day of the season, PSG travelled to Sochaux facing the unthinkable relegation from Ligue 1. But Diané scored twice, including a streaky late goal that's gone down in club folklore. PSG were saved, but fans were fearful for the future. Tuesday, the 31st of May 2011, a day that would change French football forever. Newsrooms across the country were stunned. A short statement from investment company Colony Capital, PSG's American owners, announced the sale of the club. The buyers were an arm of the Qatari state, Qatar Sports Investments. Despite just landing the 2022 World Cup, the Gulf nation was little known, and the club was suddenly under the control of President Nasser El Khalifi, then unheard of in football circles. The sale price amounted to peanuts in modern terms, 40 million euros, but would transform PSG and Ligue 1. QSI's first season saw PSG pipped by surprise package Montpellier, but there would be no doubts about 2012-13. PSG demanded a first title in 19 years and embarked upon a spending spree that eclipsed anything in the history of French football. PSG splashed out around 40 million euros each on stars Javier Pastore and Thiago Silva. A young Marco Verratti also arrived from Italian football. Wednesday, the 18th of July 2012, Paris. PSG's big spending would suddenly be overshadowed by the arrival of Zlatan Ibrahimovic, a signing that would completely change the image of the club. The Swedish Colossus was the first global star of the new PSG era, the second highest earner in football, and a player PSG used to build a global brand. After signing for the club in a boisterous news conference, Zlatan took an impromptu publicity stunt around Paris, creating chaos at the Eiffel Tower and Champs-Élysées. As they were whisked away by police, PSG officials joked that apart from cyclists on the Tour de France, they were the only people in the country allowed to drive on the wrong side of the road. "This is the most beautiful mess I've ever dreamed of," sporting director Leonardo told PSG's marketing supremo. "This is exactly what we need." A decade on, Ibrahimovic's legacy remains. The verb to Zlatan means to dominate through sheer force. It's become part of the French lexicon, and Ibrahimovic has his own waxwork at the famed Musée Grévin, France's answer to London's Madame Tussauds. The dark days of that precarious 2008 trip to Sochaux were history. Paris, as the club now like to be known, was becoming a luxury brand, using the name of the French capital as its focal point. Then there was the football, and what a season it was for Carlo Ancelotti's team. PSG were dominant. Zlatan became the first player since Jean-Pierre Papin 23 years earlier to score 30 Ligue 1 goals. His two strikes at Marseille, the stuff of legend, one nonchalant backheel from a corner, one blistering free kick. Beckham arrived with fanfare in January. and PSG finished 12 points clear of Marseille, sealing a first title in 19 years with a win at Lyon, a match symbolic of the changing order of Ligue 1. Of PSG's 9 league titles since the QSI takeover, many old-school PSG fans regard 2013 with most affection, not just because of the stars like Ibrahimovic, Pastore, Silva and Maxwell. Frenchman Blaise Matuidi and Jérémy Ménez became crowd favourites, while homegrown players Clément Chantôme and Mamadou Sakho made big contributions. Then there was club legend Sylvain Armand. Back in 2008, and overcome with emotion, the defender fell to his knees on the Sochaux pitch as PSG saved its First Division skin. 5 years later, he was on the subs bench congratulating Beckham after that memorable match at the park. The 2013 season was the start of PSG's Ligue 1 domination. The stars kept coming. Edinson Cavani was a record signing in 2013 before the landmark arrivals of Neymar, Kylian Mbappe and Lionel Messi. While the Champions League has remained elusive, the global brand was built. Since 2013, revenues have doubled to 800 million euros. The club that was bought for 40 million euros is now estimated to be worth 100 times that figure, 4 billion. PSG is today one of the most talked about clubs in the world. The 2012-13 season started and finished in unforgettable style, and French football would never quite be the same again.